Most Worshipful Grand Master, Right Worshipful Deputy Grand Master, distinguished visiting brethren, and my brothers all, good morning. My brothers, it's sometimes revelatory to discern the patterns in a public address, rhetoric being one of our most cherished arts. It's my invitation to all of you, my brethren, to seek out any patterns that you may hear during this time that our Grand Master has graciously allocated to me to address the crowd. What's the purpose of Freemasonry? Why, through hundreds upon hundreds of years, have we held a certain worldwide mystique that has placed us in the noblest light or caused us to be held in deep suspicion? Scholars and speculators have offered many opinions, each shaped sometimes by truth, but perhaps more often by their own biases. Nevertheless, we must first endeavor as members of our fraternity to be able to articulate our purpose before we can begin to have a clear view of the state of our craft. What is it that makes us different? Is it the gathering together to break bread and to share at the table that makes us unique? For so many years, the potlucks and the feasts have been splashed across invitations, both paper and electronic. Now, we cannot deny the joy of sharing repast with those whom we hold dear in our hearts, but we must confess that with far less labor and expense, the same can be found in the open homes and in the supper clubs that have surrounded us in this country that is so blessed with abundance. Or indeed, how much more would our hearts be moved if we were to share a meal with those far less fortunate than us in the generous food pantries that adorn our cities? Let's consider, is there really a mass of people crying out for the communal trough? Can we draw on a spaghetti dinner in a lodge basement and hope to compete with the Epicurean ease of a DoorDash meal delivered warm in the comfort of a home, basking in the soothing glow of Netflix? This is not what makes our fraternity desirable. Perhaps some have said our charitable and philanthropic works are the true draw to good men and women who are tacitly begging for an outlet of their time, their talents, and their treasures. We so often shout from the rooftops figures like $2 million a day, as if this makes us uniquely qualified to command the interest, the loyalty, and the labors of those that we seek to swell our membership numbers. Yet, with the ease of a minor payroll deduction or a recurring credit card transaction, millions of members of our American society can rest easy, knowing that they support the charitable works of organizations that raise many multiples per day of what we raise. Idealists among us have even proposed that it's our moral standing and pursuits that make us unique in a world that so often seems misguided. But indeed, are we not also flawed human beings? Have we not seen both the best and the worst of the human spirit in the midst of our own ranks? Surely each of us can recall that brother Mason who decried our perceived hypocrisy, or who resigned his membership in protest of the bitterness observed between men who claim to be intimately linked by some indissoluble bond. As one Masonic author so eloquently wrote, men need not join a secret society and enter into obligations of silence merely to learn the rudimentary ethics which is the common duty of the whole of the world to know and to practice. You see, breaking of bread, charitable works, The moral obligations are simply the result of being a Freemason. Why does Freemasonry matter to society? What makes us different? We have the audacity to meet a man where he is. We provide him a safe and sacred space where he is able to meet men of varying backgrounds, beliefs, and experiences. And through the beauty of questions lovingly answered, he begins to free himself from the societal and the psychological bonds that he has inherited or that have been imposed upon him. Through the transformative power of our rituals and ceremonies, he receives a direct experiential touch that ignites a sacred flame within his heart. And as that flame burns brighter through patient and prolonged educational journey within the protective arms of his brothers, he begins to grow. And before he knows it's even happened, he has become a better father, a better husband, a better employee, a better member of society, and even his relationship with his Creator becomes more vibrant than ever. A very dear brother of mine has said that he believes that the meaning of Masonry is to build meaningful relationships. We must ask ourselves, and be ready to answer when asked, why does this matter to this world? The answer is profound. In a world that seeks to divide us by religious, political, and social boundaries and seeks to make us all into good consumers, we are willing to say, no more. We stand united and strong, never doubting that even a small group of committed, hardcore Masons can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. This happens every single day, all over our glorious state of Ohio, where lodges, large and small, do their level best to assemble teams to bring this loving opportunity to each and every individual man. What's the state of our craft? We are standing on the shoulders of giants. And we will continue to bring light into the world so long as even 3 or more of us can meet together in unity. In closing, my brethren, you were admonished to listen for a pattern in this address. Let me reveal it to you now. Not once, not one single time, was the word I used. We stand together. We shine the light together. This is our noble calling. So mote it be. Thank you, my brothers.